begin to.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this easy halter neck, but it's going to have a collar and it's going to be a button down. Guys, there are different variations to this. You can make one without the back. So this is the simplest form, is what I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make it in form of it's going to have like a flap collar. The neckline is going to look almost like a blazer, and then I'm going to show you guys how to make it without any back panel, if you guys would like to see that too. So but this is the easiest one to make. So what I did here is just fold my fabric into two. I'm going to be using Akara for this, and then fold the second one into two. See, the first one is folded into two, which is going to be my front panel, and then the back panel is also folded into two and placed on top. I'm going to be cutting it in form of a basic bodice, but if you want, you can cut it in form of a princess dart, which I also have a video on how to make a long dress princess dart. But this would work. All I need to do is just to go back in and put a small dart by the side of my bust after making the halter neck, especially in front. So now the length I have here is about 38. So you can use any length you want. The width I have here for the one on top is just my hip divided by 4 plus 1, which is about 13. And then I have extra 2.5 or so extra for the front. So now let's go ahead. So go over to your shoulder, divide your shoulder by 2, mark that. So for me, my shoulder divided by 2 will be 8. I'm going to mark that. Come down here, mark my armhole divided by 2. But first, come down 1 inch of shoulder slope, insert your armhole. For me, that will be about almost 9 inches. Mark that here, and then connect it in form of a straight line all the way to the top. Give it a curve. Come up here, mark my neck, which is going to be 3 inches, just basic neckline. Connect my shoulder slope all the way, and then after that, for the back neckline, I'm just going to do 1 inch depth. That's come down 1 inch for the depth of the back neckline. So guys, after this now, I'm going to just come up here, place my tape and mark my shoulder to my waist, which is going to be at 17.5. My shoulder to my hip, which is going to be at almost 25, and then the length of the dress. So what I'm going to do is on this center line, which is my waistline, divide my waist by 4, which is going to give me 8.5. Add 2 inches to it. 1 inch of darting and 1 inch of seam allowance. Go to my bust, divide my bust by 4, add 1 inch of sewing to it. Go to my hip, divide my hip by 4, and then add 1 inch to it. Just take the same measurement down to this end here, or you can take away one and make it like pencil, depending on what you want. So now this is just a basic bodice that we made here. I'm going to go ahead and connect everything together. So guys, after that, I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half an inch. I'm going to just mark that here, and then I'm going to connect it all the way to the top here. Just all I'm doing is just a basic bodice, guys. So what I'm going to do now is 2 inches before my hip line, which is here. That's where my dart will stop. I'm going to mark half an inch on this side, half an inch on this other side. The same thing at the top, half an inch on this side. You remember this one on top is my back panel, so my dart at the back will go up to the chest line, but my dart in front will stop from my shoulder to my bust, which is at 12. So my dart in front will stop at 13, which is on this point here, is where my dart for the front panel will be. But my dart at the back will go up to this my armhole line. So now all I have to do is just to connect half an inch to this side and blend it in, and then another half an inch on this other side and blend it in. Guys, this is just your basic bodice pattern, right? So now let's go up to the top so that we can finish up what we need to do. So now to get that halter neck, I'm going to just connect from here this way. If you want, you can use the straight part, it's also good. So connect from your armhole to this part here. So connect it. This is it here. So I've gotten the neckline. So I'm going to raise this up now, but before that, let me mark where the neckline starts, which is here, right? And then I'm going to go in 3 inches on that, and then come down by 3 inches of the neck length here. and connect it just to get my curve. So this is just to help me know where my front neckline is on this. So this is the front neckline. So but guys, we are going to just use this back to cut it. You understand? This line now, we are going to use it to cut. So I'm going to go from here. So I'm going to go from this point now and then cut all the way into the armhole this way. And then I'm going to cut off the excess on the side too. Guys, after cutting this out, if you feel like the curve is not deep enough for your halter neck, you can just go in and slice out some more fabric from the halter neck part. That will help to curve it even more. So if you want to curve it even more, cut out more from the halter neck part of it. Back neckline, cut that off. And then I'm going to cut out the 3 inches for the front neck this way. And then once this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is just to go ahead and split open the front, because like I said, this is going to be the plackets. This extra 2.5 or so that we left here is going to be for our button placket. So all I have to do is just to join this, cut this open now. So guys, now that I've cut it open, you're supposed to have 2 pieces of this, 2 pieces for the front, 1 piece for the back. So you see this back panel now, all you have to do is go ahead, pick this dart this way, pick it, sew it all the way, and then do the same thing for the 2 pieces in front. So I'm going to transfer my dart on this other side too. So I'm going to have 2 darts here for the back, and then I'm going to take the front panel also, and then I'm also going to have 2 darts for the front. So there's going to be 1 on each side. So I'm going to also transfer my dart in front, but remember the dart in front by the bust is slightly shorter. So once I do that, I'm going to use bias to run through this armhole, run through this side to use bias to finish up all these sides. Then I'm going to come back and show you guys how we're going to put the collar. But this 2.5 that I left by the center, guys, this is just for my plackets. So this is how I'm going to fold it. So what I'm going to do is go to the sewing machine, take this piece like this, fold it, just fold half an inch by the edge, and then fold it at least 1 inch in, and then sew it down. This is going to serve as the placket for where the button will be. You understand? Just tuck in half an inch at this very end here, and then fold 1 inch in this way, and then just sew this bold collar like this all the way to the end. So I'm going to do it on both sides of the front, and then use bias to run through this side, and then we'll come back and put in our collar. So guys, as you can see, I've joined this to this. You see, this is the placket for this, and then this is it here. So now the next thing you have to do is just to measure your neckline. So you're going to take your tape, and then you're going to measure the neckline. So you're going to measure for the back. So let me remove this. I'm going to measure just the back, the neckline at the back. From 1 point, curve your tape to the other end. I have 6.5. Then you're going to take the neckline in front, also measure from here, the edge here, all the way to the other side, which is about, so you're going to measure that, and then for me it's 6 inches, right? And then you're going to measure the other one too. Which is also 6 inches. So what I'm working with is 6 plus 6 plus 6.5. That is going to be about, so it's going to be 18.5. That's what it will be. So 18.5 is going to be the length of my collar. But guys, you need so I'm going to make sure I have about 18. As you can see, my fabric is folded into 2. What I'm going to be using for the collar, I've already folded it into 2. Let me open it so you guys will see. It's folded into 2 this way. So I'm going to fold it back again, right? And then the width I have here at the moment is about 4 inches, right? And then I'm going to make sure I have 18.5 here, which will fit in. But then guys, remember you cut off the shoulder, because remember normally you would have had shoulder here where your armhole will now come in here. You understand? That shoulder that you cut off, that you normally use half an inch to join the shoulder in front and half an inch to join the shoulder at the back, you need to add it. So half an inch for the front, half an inch for the back, that's 1 inch on this side. You do the same thing for this other side again. The armhole on this side, your shoulder slope, half an inch to join here, half an inch to join here, that's 1 inch again. So 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side. You need to add 2 inches to that 18.5. You understand? 2 inches is what I'll add to my 18.5, so that's 20.5 already for the width of my collar, right? So that's 20.5. Then you need half an inch to close up each end of your collar, so that's going to be about 21.5. So I'm going to mark 21.5 in between here, right? 21.5 here, and then 21.5 here, leaving about 2 inches at the edge here and 2 inches at the edge here, so that I'll use it to mark a line like this, to angle it, right, to form like this collar thing. You know your collar is never square, it always has this pointy part, right? So I'm just going to fold the two together, and then I'm going to cut off that excess on that side. So I'm going to cut off that excess from this point now to the end, and then I'm going to use half an inch to sew it. So turn it to the wrong side, but before that I'm also going to notch it, so I'll know where the center is, right? So I'm going to notch it here, and then I'm going to open it and then go to my sewing machine, use half an inch to close up this side, flip it again, use half an inch to close up this side also, and flip it. So guys, this is it here. So I've gone ahead and closed up the two ends here. You see, this is closed, this is closed. So all I have to do is now to put it here, so that it can now form my collar, you understand? So it's going to form my collar. Guys, the one I'm talking about is the one I can also show you guys how to make it with this back out. So you're going to cut off this part here, and then you're just going to have this top part here, but you still have a collar going around your neck. So if you guys would want to see that, please comment down in the comment section. So this one here, now I'm going to bring this back up. So you see, I folded it into two, and then I notched the center. So what I'm going to do now, it depends on you where you want to start, but what that's why you have to make sure that you have the exact measurement you're working with. So what I'm going to do is take this end here, put it inside this collar, and then just sew it all the way to the end, right? Sew it all the way to this point, skip about 1 inch in between, right? And then jump to the back, sew it again all the way to the end, skip 1 inch in between here, and then go to the other side again and add this other end of the collar. But if you want to make sure that you don't make any mistake, I would advise, instead of doing that way, just first join this end, you understand? And then after that, you go to the back and then join the center. Whatever is left in between, let that be what is on your shoulder. Let me say it again. Go to the end here, join it. So you're going to first sew one side to the body, use the other side to cover it, and then go to this other end, do the same thing, starting from the edge here, sew it to the collar, and then use the other end, cover it, making sure that this body of this is inside of your collar. And then you come to the center, using this notch that you made as halfway through the collar as the landmark. You see the notch we made when we folded this into two, and then there's a notch here too. Use that one to join the center back together. Whatever you have left after that will now be that 1 inch that is supposed to be outside here for your shoulder, joining the two sides of the shoulder together. So let me go ahead now and fix it mine, and then I'll bring it back. So guys, this is it here. Like I said, I've joined the collar. You see there's a 1 inch between the side here on the shoulder, and then if you look over on this other side too, there's that same 1 inch on this side in between, you understand? So this is going to be right on your shoulder, and then this is the collar part here. So all I have to do is just put button on this side, put buttonhole on the other one, and then guys, I'm already sure that when I wear this, it's going to gape by the side because I didn't use princess darts for this. So all I have to do is just to pinch it like this a little bit, just small, now that it's done, and just stitch it in maybe 3 inches in, just to help it not to gape by the side. It depends on you. You can come down from this part, or just come up here by about 4 inches and then put in the dart, you understand? Or you can just use princess dart, so that way you can be able to just figure out where to put it. But this is a very easy style that you can make in just in an hour. So that's basically it, guys. And if you want, you can even make the bottom part like an A-line, so it flares down. So it depends on you what you want to do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and this is what the back also looks like. So guys, this is the back here. You see it has the collar part here, and you can use the two-step collar, the main collar, like the normal method of making collar, but this is just an easy method that always works for me. So I just put it in that way and fold it, since I don't actually get to put in button at the top part. So I just find that using this method is also okay for me. So that's basically how to do this here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Please guys, like, share and subscribe, and bye.